And Director of Programs, Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa, Philip Jakpor, joins me now to discuss more on the World Water Day. Good to have you join us, Philip Jakpor. Now, the World Water Day also celebrates the Sustainable Development Goal number 6, which is aimed at achieving water and sanitation for all by 2030. When you look at Nigeria, how far have we gone in terms of meeting this target?
Well, I think I must be very, very frank that as a people, as a nation, we are good at talking. We are good at mounting what the SDGs says or what the United Nations says. But in practicality, we are nowhere near where we should be. The SDG goals 6 targets the year 2030 to ensure availability for all and access for all. But then, as a nation, you can testify if you go to the local communities that most of the communities don't actually have water. Lagos will always be the microcosm of what Nigeria is. Reports say in the last 2 weeks, most of the water works in Lagos have been down. There's no water. So that does not show seriousness. And if a state like Lagos, for instance, has that kind of issue, then you can now look at what other states in the Federation actually passing through. So I don't think we are very, very serious as a nation in regards to making water accessible for our people.
So this is also an economic issue because according to UNICEF, poor water supply and sanitation cost the Nigerian government, or the Nigerian economy rather, about 1.3% of GDP annually, which amounts to about 1.9 trillion naira. So what are the challenges we have as a country in meeting this target and just having water and sanitation for citizens?
I think the biggest issue is the political will is not there. If the political will is there, I don't think, first of all, our government will be looking at the World Bank or the European Union to rehabilitate waterworks and dams that are within the purview of the states and, of course, the federal government. The political will is not there. Like I mentioned in a lot of public fora, we don't need the World Bank, for instance, to be able to rehabilitate our waterworks. Lagos, for instance, like I mentioned earlier, has the oldest waterworks, Iju Waterworks, which was built in 1911, I think, is here in Lagos. And you can, investigations show that as we stand today, the waterworks is actually not functioning to capacity. What will it take the Lagos state government to do? Since 1999, we've had budgets upon budgets, billions poured into water infrastructure, not only in Lagos, but also other states of the Federation. Virtually every state of the Federation is owing the World Bank one money or the other. Monies that even generations yet unborn will not be able to pay back. Now, do we have water in the communities? No. It is even more precarious now that we have the COVID-19 and you have public health messages going around that people should wash their hands, people should maintain high sense of hygiene. Ask yourself, go to the average community in Lagos and across the Federation, there is no water. The taps don't run anymore. So people have to depend on wholesome sources, and it has implications on health.
Absolutely.
So when we hear reports like what we lose to water sector challenges is 1.something trillion, it doesn't even accommodate the illnesses that our people
absolutely, and that's where I was going next. Mr. Jakpor, just allow me quickly jump in. That's where I was going next, because when you look at infections and diseases, most of them are hygiene related. You need which means that when there is no clean water, you're bound to have an outbreak of diseases. So where do we start from in terms of providing good water and sanitation for residents and citizens of the country?
Well, I think the starting point is having the political will and prioritizing water, valuing water, which is the theme of this year's World Water Day commemoration. If we prioritize water and we are able to, do away with unnecessary distractions like plans to privatize water as a solution to public sector failure. Those are some of the things we have to do away with. Now, virtually every state has abandoned their water works and is deliberate to pave way for privatization. But we know that countries, cities that are privatized in other parts of the world are remunicipalizing. That means communities are taking back their water. It is going back to the communities. The states, starting with a state like Lagos, which is a model for other states. Lagos is one of the states toying with the idea of privatizing water.
Right.
At the national level, we have the National Water Bill, which also has provisions that open the door to privatization. We must do away with those privatizations. We must do away with those plans and refocus. We have what it takes to be able to rehabilitate the water works.
And I'm hoping we do something quickly. I just have to quickly jump in. I'm hoping we do something quickly as the 2030 target begins to approach. I'm afraid we do have to leave it there. Director of Programs, Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa, Philip Jakpor. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.